The Conjuring Last Rites coming out later this year, I decided let's look into what exactly inspired this case, which of course was apparently one of the biggest cases the Warrens had. So before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers. That's our big goal going forward. Thank you for 40,000 subscribers. Really means a lot. Whether you watch the videos, like them, comment, all of that. Even if you hate the videos, you gave them a chance. So I gotta appreciate that as well. Let's get into the Smurl haunting. So this is what the movie The Conjuring Last Rites is based on. And the Smurls are pretty much a family that was haunted for some time in West Pittston, Pennsylvania in August 1973. This is when apparently things started to happen. So let's talk about some of the things that happened to this family. And of course, some of these things are pretty insane. So just warning. So let's get into it. So the Smurl family haunting apparently began in 1973 when the family moved into a duplex in West Pittston, Pennsylvania. So they apparently lost their home the previous year due to Hurricane Agnes, and they were looking forward to starting over. Now, the home consisted of the two parents, four daughters, as well as the two grandparents. So it was a pretty big home that they were in, and you can see in the trailer and stuff that there's a pretty big family living here as well. We'll get to how the Warrens sort of fit into the whole thing in a bit as well. Things in the haunt started a little bit eerie, creepy, but nothing too crazy happened just yet. With things disappearing, there were some electrical mishaps that were happening with appliances on and off, but then they started to get some noises that were coming through, and these noises were seemingly getting more terrifying as well than odors that were coming that were very unpleasant as well, and of course shadows that were floating throughout. So this started to really hit the family hard, and they started to realize that yeah, this is not normal at all. They apparently said that it got more aggressive as the years went by, and that they started to have more of a physical attack from the demon or whatever it was that was here, right? Even stating that some of the daughters got pushed down a flight of stairs. The family dog apparently had been thrown against a wall, and things got even more worse when Janet had twins. The supernatural abuse also apparently had some assaults on Jack and Janet Smurl by what was later said to be a succubus. Leave any breather, so they contacted the Catholic Church. However, some of the priests went, they did some blessings, but nothing seemed to get rid of the forces. This later also culminated with some of the neighbors apparently wanting this to all end because they felt that the whole town, the neighborhood was getting negative attention with this. So the neighbors were saying that they were just trying to make a quick buck and that they were faking all of that. Of course, the Smurls kept saying, no, we in fact did not. It did create a lot of press and attention with some big outlets going out there with camera crews and just waiting to see what was happening next. They eventually turned for help to the Warrens. Once the Warrens made their way out there, they were pretty much set on that there were four distinct entities that shared the house with the family. Three of them being human spirits, with the last one being a purely demonic force that was feeding off of the fear. So years and years of fear buildup made the Warrens believe that this is a pretty strong demonic entity. Over the months that followed, Ed and Lorraine accumulated hours of audio recordings containing noises that they were claiming were the demons, as well as photographs as well. They apparently said that the poltergeist was strong enough to cause temperature drops, even apparitions to happen, and Ed also claimed to have found message scrawled onto a mirror that read for them to get out. So apparently the Warrens never reached a definitive conclusion with their investigation. But the Smurls do claim that more blessings and prayers that happened after led to their lives being normal again. And of course, the skepticism has run wild with this case over the years, and we'll get to that in a bit. But what eventually did happen from this as well is that the Smurl case became such an infamous incident that there was a book made as well as also a TV movie in 1981, which I will watch that movie and we'll talk about it later, probably next month. So stay tuned for that before the movie comes out. But a lot of skeptics were very critical about what exactly was happening here. Some said that Jack's judgment was not really all the way there. And some people believed also that there was zero evidence of supernatural presence by some paranormal investigators as well. Apparently, the Catholic Church also later said that none of the priests who visited the property experienced anything unusual. The family continued to allege that, yes, indeed, there were exorcisms performed, but that the entity was able to move from one room to another to escape the ritual. Small family haunting is definitely going to be an interesting one, I think, to cover for the last Conjuring movie. Now, of course, the skepticism and all of that, I do not believe will truly be in the film like that. I think that with the Conjuring films, we do know it just focuses mainly on not necessarily the case itself, but more heightened like aspect of it. And I'm curious about how it will be perceived, because I think we're in a different ballpark than when the first Conjuring film came out in 2013, where the Warrens weren't really as known. Like, they were known here and there, right? If you watched any of those haunting shows and all that, like I used to watch the one on Discovery Channel a long time ago. And I think the more we learn about the Warrens and the real life that they had as well, and claims and things like that, and the skepticism as well, it kind of has us viewing these Conjuring films in a different lens if you're that aware of these cases, right? Whether you believe or not, it's totally up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to believe or not, but I think that this definitely is one of those cases that it's just really interesting to sort of put a bigger magnifying glass on what truly was happening here, and whether or not people were being taken advantage of for the limelight, for whatever the thing may be, to get a book, to get a movie, whatever it is, right? We don't know. We just don't know what exactly happened with the Smurl haunting. I'm just presenting you what I've read about it, what apparently they were saying was happening in this home. These people were being tormented by whatever it was, and they claimed it was producing these weird noises. There was things coming out of the wall. There were these very distinct odors, and even some physical attacks were happening here. And, it's up to you. Let me know what you think about the Smurl haunting. What do you think about Ed and Lorraine Warren? Do you believe what they said about this haunting, or do you not believe about it? Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. But we'll talk more about the Conjuring: The Last Rites, as well as the other films that are going to be coming out in the Conjuring series in the future. We're going to be watching the movie that this was based on, The Haunted. I've never watched it myself. I've just recently found out about this case, like when they first said what the Conjuring Last Rites was going to be based upon. So we'll be talking more about the film that was made, and also all of that. So stay tuned. And once the movie releases, we'll talk about it as well. Maybe we'll do a whole separate videos for Ed and Lorraine Warren, and what exactly is the importance of what they did, or was it not that? So stay tuned for that. But let me know what you think about it. Do you believe in the Smurl haunting? Do you believe in ghosts? I'm curious about that as well. What do you think about entities and all of that? And is it just a entertainment thing, or do you truly believe in it? Comment it down below. But as always, that's going to do it for me. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. Let me know what you think about the Conjuring Last Rites movie. Are you going to be watching it in theaters, or are you skipping it? Are you not a fan of the Conjuring anymore, or are you still really rooting hard for it? So as always, that's going to do it for me. Check out our other videos we have as well. Final Destination Bloodline screening tonight, so stay tuned for my thoughts tonight, and I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.